This is actually my first time in the new spot.
Awesome.
Yeah, this place is pretty incredible. I knew it was going to be, right? That's the way Huss rolls. But no, this is really cool. So we're downtown. What is this, Monroe and?
Yes, Monroe between 2nd and 3rd Street at the Phoenix Convention Center. So
Yeah.
we're right about 8 months in.
Okay.
To this really kind of unique project.
Yeah.
One of the cool things about it was the city of Phoenix really wanted to really kind of get into leaning into local.
Okay.
You know, it's one of the things that they did at the airport. Whereas if you ever go
yes.
to Terminal 4, Terminal 3, you'll see a lot of local restaurants, breweries that are all there. And when this kind of gig came up, it was actually pre-COVID. They wanted a local business to come into the convention center, but was also facing outside.
Yeah.
So it gave us this opportunity. So we joined up with them in this joint project with the city of Phoenix, as well as the Aramark, who's the convention center food people that kind of run the show over here.
Yeah.
And with that, so what's different about the airport dig is those are normally, how do I put it? They're normally like licensing kind of deals.
Yeah, it's not actual like the people.
It's not actually the people.
Yeah.
You kind of, there's other people, they kind of utilize, they license your name and they utilize it like that.
Yeah.
The difference in this gig is we wanted to make sure if we were going to do something like this, that we did actually have full control.
Okay. Yeah.
So we wanted to make sure that we actually ran the show, all of our people, our management team, our staff, so that we could really make sure that we were telling our story, make sure that our people are talking about the beer, creating the food menu, really kind of getting it out there. So it's it's a lot of time, and COVID really kind of put a wrench in things for a while there.
Sure.
So we were about 2 years behind from when we wanted to open, but we did get open. And now we're ready. And interestingly enough, the Super Bowl NFL experience is actually going to be held right here at the convention center.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be pretty nuts. So pretty much that whole week from February 4th all the way through February 11th, most days the NFL experience is going to be happening right here. So it's free to people, a fantastic family-friendly event in there. And that's actually one of the reasons that Greg's here today and Kristan's here today, because we were looking at that whole week and what we're able to do. And we started thinking about, yes, downtown here is going to have the NFL experience. What about other parts of town?
Sure.
And
it's a big city.
Yeah, it's a huge city. And, in a very fortunate, turn of events, Greg actually reached out to me. What was it, Greg? Like 4 months ago, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
sitting at DC.
Yeah, I think we were having a couple of drinks. And it was,
all the best ideas come over a couple of beers,
I'm
right?
telling you, this actually is a fact.
Yeah.
All right. That is not something that is false at all. It's very true. But Greg, he kind of approached me. Tell me, I know you said kind of, what was your thoughts on this all? How did this whole thing come together?
Lone Tree Golf Club's down in South Chandler, and we've been there. We've been open for 23 years now. It's just started our 23rd year.
Nice.
And I've been lucky enough to play in the Phoenix Open a few times, and been a part of the whole program, which is always really cool. But it got to the point where I was like, if I'm not playing, I'm not going, unless one of my buddies is playing, and
like in a stubborn way, of like, I ain't going,
exactly.
Man.
And so
it's so crazy, right?
Yeah, and the few times that I have gone, I've been fortunate enough to go in some VIP stuff and have some real great experiences. But you're right, just the driving up there and parking and doing everything, it's awesome, but hey, man, I'm getting old. And so I said, we got to do something at the golf course. And I said, I'm just sitting there. And after we played, I said, we could literally do a really cool program with bleachers on number 9 because it's right by the clubhouse, and do some cool things there. We started brainstorming. We were just sitting there like, we could do, and in my hometown of Rochester, Minnesota, we've done $1 million shootout with actually, it's perfect. One of the guys that works with us, Bill Waddy, and he said, yeah, we could do it here. And kind of just sat there, talked about it, and kind of drew it up on a little piece of paper, and then literally saw Chip the next night, and I said, hey, I got this concept I'm thinking about doing. And he's like, well, that makes sense. You're going to have the NFL experience, you're going to have the waste management, you're going to have all these things, but there's really no other real festival or any program. So I was talking to Chip about it, and then we just I've had an incredible relationship with PXG, and I reached out to them, and they were just like Chip was, just 100% on board. And so just started growing the deal. And hey, this is our first year. Then you bring on Kristan, the expert, and you know, we're super excited. I always say, you know, we have a ton of events at the golf course, right? And I always remind people, hey, it's your first year. You're building something.
Yeah.
The concept is great. Everything about it, the golf experience, PXG, Huss, the golf course itself, $1 million shootout, qualifying, and that turned it into a golf festival that Saturday. It's going to be awesome. So we're super excited about that first year, but that's the concept. Come out and play that week, try to qualify. Qualify Saturday night, have a DJ out there. We'll have East Coast Joe's Lobster Truck out there along with all our food and all the Huss Brewing beers, and we're gonna have a blast, right? We're gonna have a blast, and somebody might get lucky and walk away with $1 million.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that because I'm like, you guys just play till somebody hits it. No, I'm like, that's ridiculous.
That would be.
That would go till next year.
I'm
like
afraid
settle
that
down.
insurance would be
Yeah.
$1 million.
Well, how did
playing until somebody gets
I'm not much of a golfer. I'm more of a ride in the golf cart and drink some beers, and I'm good for about 9 holes, and then I lose focus and just, you know.
It's called drunk.
Yeah. I call it losing focus, Chip.
That's when I get better.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Well, Kristan, so what did you think when they reached out to you? Well, because we didn't even introduce ourselves, right? I mean, this is Chip from Huss, right? We got Greg from
Lone Tree Golf Club.
Lone Tree Golf Club, and we have
Kristan with Beta Agency.
one of the most badass agencies out there.
Thank
right?
you.
So what do you do? What does Beta Agency do?
So we're an event coordinating business. Started out last year. Have already done a few events, mainly towards the craft beer industry, just because that is my niche.
Yeah.
But eventually doing, reaching out to the golf community now too. And, thanks for my sports background, I do have a lot of understanding in that.
Yeah.
And it just helps to definitely be well-rounded and meet new awesome people like Greg here today.
Yeah.
What's your sports background? I didn't know that.
I was a collegiate softball player.
Hello.
Where'd you play?
GCC for 2 years and then Colorado.
Nice. You were Buffalo?
Well, and then I blew my knee out like halfway through the season and came back home, and now I do, slow pitch, but it's still competitive depending
Still
on
a
who you
badass.
ask.
You're still a badass, Kristan. Yeah. So, all right. So, what did you think when they reached out? Like, hey, we're gonna have some beers, and we're gonna see if somebody can get a hole in one for $1 million.
I
How do
love
you
the
manage
that? After Greg kind of told me about how the layout was going to be at the 9th hole being right behind the clubhouse, there's a ton of areas to be able to do fun activations with the bleachers. We're going to give a PXG Golf Experience on there, like right by the 9th hole is a driving range. So Trackman will be out there with PXG, and you'll be able to like digitally and technology driven
Technologically.
technology and be able to watch where your ball goes and learn your swing that way. So that is really cool because I've never had that to be able to do it. And I mean, old school, I'm aging myself here. I wish I would have had that when I played softball back in the day. Instead of videotaping yourself on the old school cameras before even they had it on phones.
Oh, for sure. I had to put tape when I played football. I had to put tape around my leg so that I could see which one I was on the field because it was the camera. This is late '90s. Like the cameras were like up on top of the. Yeah. So technology is.
It's
amazing.
advanced a long way. So I'm excited to see the Trackman. All the golf lovers are absolutely love that. There's also going to be a putting green area where you can be able to practice your short swing.
Yeah.
Huss tents will be there, a DJ, like Greg said, and it's a family-friendly event, too.
Yeah.
And tickets, they start at $15.
Oh,
You're
nice.
not going to be able to see that anywhere throughout the entire
Can I
weekend.
expand on that real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the things that I think really, when Greg talked about how this whole thing started out and how it grew, I thought it was really cool. And I think all of us, when it really hit on the word you just said, family, how do we make a family-friendly event? So it started out, like you said, building around this $1 million shootout with, better golfers and that sort of thing. But then we were like, well, what about all the rest of the people that are not great golfers, but love golf?
Or even
just
non-golfers.
Or not golfers
Yeah.
who just want to just come outside. How are we going to create a family-friendly event on the Saturday before the big game
Yeah.
in southeast of the valley,
Yeah.
right in Chandler, off of Riggs and Gilbert
Riggs and
Road,
Gilbert, yep.
Riggs and Gilbert Road, and have something where people can get there, not have to deal with all that traffic going up to Scottsdale. Because Eric, if you think about it real quick, and you look at the entire valley, right, during that weekend, we've seen all the madness from, Shaquille O'Neal's parties and Snoop Dogg parties at Talking Stick to Sports Illustrated and Vanity Fair parties in Scottsdale. Now, I'm sure, not everybody's like you that gets the VIP tickets to the Vanity Fair party.
but it spoils us, right?
But
like
it does.
Say,
yeah.
right?
Greg, I know he's on the VIP list pretty much everywhere he goes. He's Shaq's +1 most places. But the reality is most people can't access those things.
Yep.
Most people during that weekend can't go or either can't or don't want to go to Waste Management just because it's so crazy.
Yeah.
Now, a ton of people are going to go.
Right.
That's why it's the People's Open.
Yeah.
I love going every single year, and I will plan on going probably during the week or something along those lines. But imagine being able to do something on that Saturday, and again, not at Westgate, not downtown with the NFL Experience.
Yeah.
We're a huge city. We're going to have hundreds of thousands of people coming in town. And so it's not just even for the residents. It's for those folks that are even coming in from out of town. That maybe, hey, it's a Saturday. What time does it start? 3 o'clock?
3 to 9 p.m.
3 to 9 p.m. on that Saturday, the 11th. You got the actual shootout around 5:30. Yep. Before that, like we said, all the putting green things, we're making it a golf festival. And you haven't heard of something like that,
When he said
right?
festival, I was like, okay, I've heard of golf tournaments or a beer festival, but not a golf festival.
We think it's
Heck
one of the first ones that I can think of that has really been done around here, and it's really again for the love of golf and having a neighborhood, local, iconic standout like Lone Tree. Everybody I know has played there. I've been playing there for years, and Greg's provided that for the neighborhood and for the city of Chandler and Gilbert to be able to kind of have this neighborhood place where you can go. So now imagine for all of those tens of thousands of families, they're like, what are we going to do? Because everybody wants to do something that weekend.
Sure.
You want to be adjacent to all of it somehow.
That vibe is going on.
You don't want to just be sitting at home, right? So you want to get out. And this is a perfect opportunity, I think, for people to say, hey, you know what? Saturday afternoon, it's a cheap ticket. Bring the kids. We're obviously super proud that we're going to be serving our beers. We've got a couple of new beers, which we'll talk about here in a second, that we're going to be debuting out there at Lone Tree. You got the little Huss golf ball.
Heck yeah, I like that.
That's your take-home.
Cool.
That's your
That's the
take-home
winner.
prize.
That's the winner right
Callaway,
there.
though. I need
touched it.
Titleist.
Oh, he needs Titleist. He can't use Callaway's. But
It's not in my contract.
look at this guy. I told you he was Shaq +1 with his contract. But at the end of the day, I think that what we're all most excited about is family and doing that. Huss Brewing as a company, Jeff and Lee Huss started this. We're actually celebrating our 10 years this year.
That's awesome.
In 2023. Started in 2013 as a family affair. And anytime we can make and bring our beer into a situation that is going to really kind of shine a spotlight on family-friendly, just wholesome, good fun, and that's what golf is.
Yeah.
Golf is, no matter extent how good you are. What I love about golf is it's open arms. They want to bring everybody in.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, I'll ask Greg real quick to talk. One of the charities we've got involved, Eric, on this is First Tee, right?
Yeah.
And First Tee, you want to let it?
Yeah.
Because I think it jives right into why it's so important that everybody kind of is attracted to this game that is really for everybody.
Yeah.
And has just grown and grown and grown over the years.
Yeah, the First Tee of Phoenix, and we're touching out to Tucson too, but First Tee in general. We're a host for the First Tee, and the First Tee is a youth program that introduce everybody that wants to get involved in golf, introduce them golf, and more importantly, teach them about life. And they have all these core fundamentals that they go through that aren't just for golf, and teach kids how to really get involved in the game and grow up. And golf it's the best game. It's the greatest. I mean, you go out there, you learn about people right away. And, I've been in golf since I've been in high school. And I'll tell you one thing, because of the game of golf, I've never been late for anything. because that's life. To me,
Yeah.
it's all about showing up, and you got to be on time. And in golf, if you're not on time, guess what? You don't play.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the core values I know that they talk about is responsibility and all that with First Tee. So for us to bring them in, which we're already a huge part at Lone Tree, we've had, I can't even think about how many kids that have gone through the First Tee program, all the way into our Ping Inter Club, all the way into our youth on course and everything into high school, and we've produced a ton of college golfers. So you hit it right on the head. It's family, and you can grow up at a golf course, and the First Tee is a great introduction for that. And so we married them into the program. The more people that come out, the more proceeds they'll get.
Nice. Yeah.
So you put all that together, and it's going to be a great day to hang out at Lone Tree.
Yeah. And you start checking those things off. You start really looking at it. Everybody's time is valuable. Everybody's family time is valuable. Especially when you work during the week, those weekend things, what are you going to do? So, imagine if you can get the kids, away from the video games for a couple hours.
Imagine.
And actually, get them out and together as a family and come on down and enjoy something like that with, like I said, the music, all of the food, the lobster trucks, and all of the great food that Lone Tree already serves. Being able to have all those interactive games. Kristan, you mentioned some of those games. Greg said earlier about what our friends over at PXG. A lot of people don't realize that PXG, as one of the major golfing companies, is based right here.
Yeah.
In Phoenix. And it's amazing that such an iconic and, just influential golf company would want to, be involved in something like this but at the same time, their goal is the same as ours.
Yep.
They want to attract more people to the game too.
Yeah.
They see the value in this, that, hey, if we can get some folks and their families down here, they'll have little golf fitting areas. If you wanted to say, hey, we want to fit myself for a new club or a new putter, and you can get it and visit one of their area stores. If you've never picked up a golf club before, one of the things I was talking to Tyler at PXG, that's one of their big things. A lot of people think like, oh, you can't have a set of PXGs unless you're, a super professional golfer.
You've earned it. You've got to earn it. Yeah.
It's not the case. They're actually very, very interested
Yeah.
in getting people in at the amateur and never played before level,
like
because
that.
they
Yeah.
want to teach them, to show them how much fun this game is,
Yeah.
and how it can do it. And so being able to put all of that together in just this interactive festival that we think is just going to be a blast. And with that, I think it's just really cool.
I
and
guarantee
just marrying
you.
all of it.
I guarantee you think about when you want to introduce somebody to something, sport, whatever it is, right? You walk into the golf course and you got water, you got trees, you got ducks, you got some music going, you got some bean bags going, you got a lobster truck. I mean, it'd be like, this is what golf is?
That's true. Good point.
And
because so many people some people still have this think that this is just like a country club,
rich,
out of touch, only
waste
the rich
of
guys,
time,
are only playing this.
And you know what you said? I mean, you hit it right on the head. And I've been saying this for years, and it's growing a lot. 9 holes is so underrated.
Yeah.
And we push that so much in the afternoons, and 9 and wine, 9 and a Huss.
Yeah.
Come out, and you don't have to spend 5 hours out there. You can whip around in 2 hours. I mean, just anything we can do to introduce those people into this game and then give them options, that's all we're looking for.
Yeah. I like that though, right? Because it can be intimidating, right? Because it is you take a couple swings at the driving range, you're like, geez, I pulled my shoulder and I haven't even hit the ball one time, right? But it's intimidating. Then you go out there with, I go out with Mike, my father-in-law. He golfs 2-3 times a week, and then I see him hack at it too. I'm like, all right, he's like, I can do this. Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it's not. It is not. But like you said, you learn a lot about people. You learn about people's patience, right? And you learn about their temper, right?
Integrity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but no, I like that. I like that approach, that the approachability of it. And I told my buddy about, I was coming to do this podcast, and he was like, PHX or PXG. See, I don't need. I'm like, yeah, he's like, they're badass. Like, they're big time. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. So I got to get him down to your golf course, though. I don't know if he's ever been. to your spot.
Absolutely.
But, Greg, tell us a little bit about so you've been playing golf, you said, since high school. Rochester, Minnesota. Where is that is that a suburb of?
So it's just south of Minneapolis. It's home of the world famous Mayo Clinic, which is up in Scottsdale.
Yeah. My wife grew up in western Minnesota. That's why I was.
What part?
Like around like Detroit Lakes area.
Oh yeah,
Perham.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
I love it up there.
It's
yeah,
the greatest.
Yeah,
best place to be in the summer. I don't want to be there right now.
Yeah, it's incredible up there. Yeah.
I grew up playing hockey and golf in Minnesota, and ended up coming down and playing golf at ASU, and tried to play professionally for a while with less than limited success.
Okay.
But
to play Division I golf, that's incredible.
I mean, and I was my dear friend just passed away. He was an All-American at ASU, Tony Grimes, and he was All-Conference All-American. And he used to say that, Greg, just a reminder, you were an all-so-ran. I didn't like that, but I wouldn't have traded anything for playing. I was only there for a year and a half because I played 2 years of hockey in Minnesota. But, my background, I got to Arizona and ended up working, playing golf, and took a job with Pulte Homes for their golf courses, and they were building Lone Tree, and it was an opportunity for me to get my foot in the door with the hopes of possibly getting in there at ownership. Okay. And we made that happen 18 years ago, and despite my management, we're still open.
Yeah. They understood that you bring a good heart to it, right? Exactly. They're like, he means well.
He's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
Not too sharp, but he's fine.
He's all right. You can get through it. He's a nice guy.
That's incredible. So you've been owner of Lone Tree for 18 years.
Yeah, I had one business partner, and he passed away 8 years ago. Okay. And he was my best friend. He was my golfing buddy, and I somehow talked him into doing it. And man, we've just, we've just had a blast. It's owning a golf course is what I always wanted to do. I don't think I was ever going to get super rich doing it, but I wake up and I get to do what I want every day, and I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Heck yeah, and you get to meet wonderful people like this.
Yep.
And bring some great beers to your golf course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Yeah, and we talk about this connection with everything. I think that's, I mentioned earlier in the podcast about how the city of Phoenix wanted to, really lean into local.
Yeah.
One of the biggest points of pride for me, and and Kristan too, I think, because she's on the board of directors of the Arizona Craft Brewers Guild.
Heck yeah! Congratulations.
She's done so much for the craft beer community over the years. Is how much synergy and how much connection happens between local businesses. Yeah. And Greg is always, over all of these years, has supported small local businesses, breweries like ours. Yeah. And done that. And I think that's such an important thing. The fact that he was the one that reached out to me, asking me, saying, "Hey, you know what? We've got PXG involved. We want to get a beer person involved." They could have gone to one of the big guys, but he says, "You know what? No, I'd rather go to another local company." And I think that's so important. When we look at some of our beers, Papago Orange Blossom, everybody obviously knows that. It's one of our, most famous beers and one of the most popular beers in Arizona. Yep. Scottsdale Blonde, which we pour down there at Lone Tree, as long as Juicy IPA. So many different beers, and, some of the new ones we want to actually bring out at the golf festival and shootout is that blueberry wheat, so we see it front and center.
Is that healthy then? Because it's blueberries?
It is.
Okay,
Daily intake.
Here's a question.
I might be begging there a little bit.
If I say that it's healthy, am I held liable?
I'm not sure.
That's not my role.
I think you just leave it out there. There's some fruit in there.
That's fruit.
It contains
so
real fruit.
So there's real fruit, which means
you could say
vitamin
wholesome.
C.
Wholesome. Yeah.
So I think
Farm
I got to
fresh.
stay away. I think I got to stay away from the word healthy.
Well, too late. We've got something that doesn't look.
But doesn't look quite.
There you go.
But it is, and we talk about local stuff, and local beer and local food, and and just how all of us together, in our community can kind of work together.
Yeah.
I think that's what's so important about this. We keep coming back to this festival and experience on the 11th, but I think it all again comes and builds from so much more.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
you talked about the lobster truck that's going to be out there. With that, you know, we talk about food and what we do, and it just happens to be appropriately that Madison just brought us a couple of menu items that we're really proud of. And interestingly enough, Greg was just talking about being from Minnesota.
Yeah.
What's the most famous fish in Minnesota?
The walleye, baby.
Walleye, baby.
Oh, yeah.
So what we decided to do, can I
Ooh,
put that up real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what we actually do here, and I'm going to show that since it's on camera, you can actually see.
Look
Look
at
at
that. If you're just listening, make sure you go to YouTube and watch the video.
And watch the video?
You can mouth water.
So one of the things we did was every pub and every brewery in the world in America has fish and chips.
Yeah.
Most fish and chips are cod, beer battered, kind of the same thing. They're good. Everybody loves it. But, you know, Leah Huss and I wanted to try and do something a little bit different. So, you know, Leah grew up in central southern Illinois, in Springfield. And so Illinois, just like along a lot of those other Midwest states, their fish, the go-to fish is walleye. So she grew up eating this, and she's like, what if we did fish and chips with that? So we actually got this special breading called Andy's Breading, which is only available up there in the Illinois area.
Oh, nice.
And we actually get real whole walleye fillets, and we actually skin them and actually butcher them in-house, take them out debone, and do that. So, Greg, why don't you do me a favor? Just pull a bite off of that and dip that in there.
The old walleye finger, right?
Okay, the old, yeah. I want you to give us your professional opinion as a Minnesotan
Okay.
on how this.
Tartar sauce.
Yep, you got to have tartar sauce.
Yep.
And he's taking a bite. It's got a nice crunch to it, sound effects
Looks
wise.
incredible.
How's that, my friend?
That's as good as any pub up in Minnesota.
There you go.
So
Oh, nice.
That's what we're
they're
talking
on
about.
their way. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
We do a once every 3 months a walleye fish fry for all our Minnesota, Wisconsin people.
Yep.
It's sold out every time.
Single time, right?
You ran out of walleye? Yeah, well, yeah. You got to come early.
It is like you
This
got to
is
come early.
excellent. This
Thank
is
you.
so good.
And
That is
I
really
appreciate
good.
that. So, and that's, you know, and again, the taking the care. I think that's what it is, you know.
Yeah.
Taking the care to, you know, put food out that is, you know, not just, you know, out of a bag and into a fryer, but, you know, taking the time to really do. That's what we've really tried to do. You know, even from something as simple as grilling the lemon, you know, on there to get that fresh so it actually releases the juices a little bit better. See how
Look
all
at
the
this
extra
guy.
juice
This
comes
guy's
out?
a pro at what he does,
We know
man.
what we're doing.
Yeah, it's nice.
You want
I'm
to bite?
amazed you know that much about a walleye.
I know, right? I took a lot of time learning
What's the
about
second word with walleye? They're in what family of fish? Do you know?
it. Actually, pike. Yes.
Wow.
I know a little bit.
Don't
Just a little
Man.
bit.
Well, hey, let's take a
Yeah.
break real quick. I'm going to switch out my battery,
Sure.
and we'll keep this rocking.
I've been eating walleye since I was 4 years old.
My mother-in-law loves walleye. There's a place right up by us up in North Phoenix called Q Bar. It's a dive, right? But they get walleye.
I
They
know
do the
Q Bar.
yeah. But it's an interesting. You don't know what you're going to get at 11 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Like, were they here from last night or?
We used to go to one after hockey, after beer league hockey, in Chandler. It was a biker bar, and we went there after hockey to have beers and eat walleye.
Oh, man.
And they'd see us walking in there. Who are these?
With your hockey
Eight of us
gear
walk
on.
in, you know, with our hats, sweating, and what are they coming in here at 11:30, looking like they just got in a fight? And
Hey, Chip, don't
They're
you?
good.
I'm going to get one more bite of that. I didn't get in with the grilled lemon on there.
Lemon, I know.
We're
Me
rolling
too.
again. We're rolling. I just hit
Oh,
record.
we are
You got-
rolling.
yeah, heck yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So my mother-in-law is going to lose her mind when she knows that you guys do this.
It's legit.
I like that.
This man says he's been eating walleye since he was 4 years old, and he says it's legit. I'm happy. It's actually interesting because we have so many people that visit from out of town. Obviously, we're a very transient state, and a ton of people come from everywhere. But so many come from the Midwest. You know, so many people from Minnesota, so many people from Chicago, so many people from, you know, especially Chicago.
North and South Dakota.
You know, North and South Dakota, just
Wisconsin.
so many.
Yeah.
And it blows my mind how many people here, even in our restaurant, when they come in and they're like, walleye, we'll see about that. And then they always order it, and right after they eat it, and I'm like, what do you think? And they're always just like, wow, that tastes like home.
Because their bar is so high.
Their
Like
bar
they're like,
is
you better
so
bring your A game.
incredibly
Yeah.
high, you know, and it's one of the things that, you know, again, it's the simplicity of it. You know, we could have gone a very simple way. We chose to be able to do something a little bit of extra work, but again, it's just really the fish, that really good breading, cooked right, with I said some fresh lemon, and it's perfection. Good tartar sauce that we do. It's the same thing that we did with our burger. It took us a long time to get this burger right, because you kind of think, you say everybody can do a burger, but it was interesting. There's actually a movie that just came out called The Menu. I'm not sure if you've seen it.
I've heard about it. I've heard a lot
kind of a little off, wild, crazy.
It's a horror movie, right?
Yeah,
it's a horror.
It's kind of like
food.
a horror movie, but without spoiling anything for anybody, even though this is not a movie podcast. But just
Someone's
in
gonna be
case somebody
pissed,
gets
Jeff.
really pissed off. Oh man!
Come on, Chip.
Can't believe you spoiled it for me. But
I'll put right before that
never
part. I'll
mind
put
Huss
a
Beer again.
spoiler alert. Yeah.
Spoiler, okay. But it was interesting, just and again, Leah and I, when we were experimenting with this burger is our number one selling item.
Okay.
Behind the walleye.
So walleye's number one.
Walleye's actually number two.
Okay.
This actually is number one.
Oh, okay.
And it's because it's a simple, perfect smash burger. All we do is take, real 100% ground beef, season it a little bit, smash it on the grill, on that flat top, get a nice little crust on it, and then on a perfect soft potato bun, we got a little special sauce with it, lettuce, shredded lettuce, tomato. The key to the whole thing, real American cheese.
Oh,
that melts perfectly.
Heck yeah.
And you will be so surprised how many top-level chefs that live in town come in here, for a beer before they go into the game, and they get this burger, and they're like, good Lord. What? And it's a burger.
Yeah.
But again, it's the simple things, and, and I think that's kind of what's so cool just about what we do. Beer is a simple concept.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a lot of ingredients, a lot of add-ons. It's just how you care about it and how you take care to make it. Same thing with the food, same thing with the beer, same thing with a simple game like golf. Yeah. There's a ball, you hit it, put it in the hole. How hard can that possibly be? Ooh,
yeah. Burger, what is it? You throw some cheese on it with a bun. Yeah.
I mean, all of these things, but that's the beauty, I think, of most things in life that are, some of the best things are the most simple things. Any chef will tell you one of the hardest things to do is either cook one egg or roast a chicken. They'll tell you that. That's the test.
Yeah.
Because you can't hide behind anything. Jeff Huss, when he makes his beers, always says the same thing. We're known for things like Scottsdale Blonde and now our new Rio Salado Mexican Lager. And, if you have a big, deep, dark stout, you can put all kinds of things in there, and you can get away with murder.
Yeah.
Jeff always used to say, you could hide a dead cat in a stout. Nobody would even know about it.
Yeah.
I should probably say public service announcement. There are no dead cats in our beer.
That's the secret to
animals
Jeff's.
were hurt during this podcast.
No, exactly. No animals were harmed during this podcast. But I think it's the simplicity of it, and that's really what it's all about. And I think that, again, when you approach, anything that you're doing, from a simple standpoint, which is, coming back to this, the Lone Tree shootout, it was just a simple idea.
Yeah.
That, Greg and his friends had. It was like, well, how hard would this be to pull off? And I think that, Kristan, you just done such a great job of, just kind of taking a simple idea and just putting some bones on it and some flesh on it and saying, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
So now the key is why we're here talking to you. Now the key is just getting the word out.
Yep.
Hopefully people that are watching and listening to the podcast, telling their friends, go to the web. What's the website?
If you go on the Lone Tree Golf
Lone
Club
Tree Golf
website,
18, is it?
LoneTreeGolf18.com.
18. So LoneTreeGolf18.com. You simply go to that website, simple again, and you'll see a pop-up comes up, and as easy as that, Get your tickets, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, you can let them know, say, hey, you know what? I know what we're doing on Saturday before the big game.
Heck yeah.
And
that's
you
what
can
we're
spend
going
all
down
day
there.
there. That's nice. You can tool around, hit some balls, have a few Huss beers, eat some food, go back out there, hit some more putts. We'll have bags out there. It's...
And that's all included, right, in the $15?
You just get in here and you check it all out.
Yeah.
You just got to, we have some VIP stuff where you get some food and drink. But
there'll be a giveaway.
We're going to have all kinds of prizes, drawings. And
nice.
And then culminates with 25 people. And that's the other thing. So the qualifying will be on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday if you're on the golf course. So you can go play golf. You try to qualify on the golf course on hole number 2. Well, Greg, I can't play that. I can't play that time or whatever. we're also going to do some happy hours on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on the range, where you can come out, and we'll have some qualifiers on the range too. So, it's not just Saturday.
Okay.
Saturday's the culmination, but to qualify all week, and you can hang out all every day, play some golf. Like I said, you don't have to play golf, but you come down to the driving range. Those will be on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, from 3 to probably 4:30.
Okay.
So for people that can't play or don't want to play, they just want to come give it a shot.
Yeah.
They can come try to qualify on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on the driving range. Check out the facility, and then hopefully you'll be coming back on Saturday to give it a shot.
How do you qualify? Like, what are the qualifiers?
So basically we just take each day there'll be 4 qualifiers on the course. So everybody that plays golf will be out there with our PXG tent, some Huss beers, saying, hey, do you want to try to qualify? Take a shot. I think it costs $10.
Okay.
You knock it in the hole, we give you $500 cash, and you get to come back for $1 million on Saturday.
You mean knock it in the hole on hole 9?
On hole 2.
Or
on hole 2.
This is hole 2.
There,
Qualifying,
where
right?
that's
Okay.
qualifying.
Yeah.
Then we take the top.
2 chances to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Can I do it too?
What?
Can I do it too?
She wants to.
Yeah, you actually,
Can I try it?
Yeah, you actually bring up a great point. Now, there are some people that are excluded. It's
You?
It's
Okay.
amateurs only, so I can't do it. No golf
No
professionals.
semi-pros or pros or golf
yeah.
pros. Right.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that we wanted to do, was not to make it like the Phoenix Open or have
Sure.
it at, make it for everybody, for amateurs only. And the qualifying's right on the course when you're playing golf. You don't have to do anything extra. If you can't play, come out on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. We'll have, like I said, we'll call it our happy hour.
Yeah.
And we'll down on the range, give you a shot at qualifying on the range, where you shoot to a hole on the range, and the top qualifiers there will be there Saturday too.
Excellent. Now, when you say hit it, and like you gotta just golf that hole and get it in, or you're.
So basically the top 4 each day. So chances are, the reality of hole-in-ones, we haven't had one yet this year at Lone Tree yet.
Okay.
But I mean, it happens more than you'd think. So let's say the first guy goes up there and he hits it a foot away from hole. We ready?
Okay. Yep.
You say, it's a miracle. Chip hit it to a foot. We'll get his name, we'll get his information, get his
This is
email,
true.
and then we'll send it to him and say, hey, you hit it a foot, and the next 4 were 4 feet, whatever we're the top 4, we send them and
qualify.
say you got to come
Okay.
back on Saturday, and so that's how you qualify on the course. So what's great is it's incorporated in your round, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to do anything extra if you're a golfer playing that day. If you can't play that day, come on out, get up, Papago Blueberry Wheat, go down to the range, get your courage up, hit one close there. maybe you're playing again, and then maybe come back on Saturday.
Yeah.
So that's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, February 8th through
Oh, yeah,
the 10th.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
It's still really good.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things I was really was we didn't mention, Greg, and you alluded to it earlier when you talked about why you wanted to do a par 3 kind of event.
Mm-hmm.
The most famous hole at the Waste Management
Correct.
is 16. And everybody that goes to the Waste Management, your experience has to include going to 16. There's really nothing like it on earth. Watching these, golfers taking that shot, and the entire crowd going there. You said you wanted bleachers, and now obviously we're not going to be able to recreate
Correct.
the stadium hole.
Aw, man.
Oh, come on, man.
So,
But the essence, right?
100%.
Yeah.
So you think about 16, and it's now. So that was part of the conversation. Was like number 9. It's got a little bit of amphitheater there, so we put. And I told this story. So the first Phoenix Open I played in was in 2000, and I get to 16, and everybody says, "Oh, did they have?" It wasn't, but it was full. There were bleachers all the way around the green, and it was full. It was still the craziest deal in golf. When I got up
That's
there,
like when Tiger had the
yeah,
hole in
so
one,
he
right?
had-
Yeah.
he did 2001. I think.
Yes,
is
that was a
when-
year after you were
So
there.
yeah,
You
so
showed it
Tiger
the way.
Well, so I played in 2000 and 2002.
Yeah.
Tiger did not play in either of those years, and I'm pretty sure he just saw my name in the tournament. He said,
I
I'm
better
not going. I can't compete with that guy." But so the first time I play in that thing, I get to 16. Is it okay to swear on a
Oh,
podcast?
hell yeah.
Absolutely.
So I get on 16, and I'm playing, and I walked through there, and I played practice rounds, a ton of practice rounds, and I'm walking through the little area to get the tee box, and I'm just about ready to shit my pants. I'm like, holy shit, there's like 25,000 people here. And I get up there, and it's 157 yards, pins back, and I grab my niner, and my caddy leans over, and he goes, "Can you get that to the hole?" And I go, "No chance. I just want to get this on the green and not get booed and get out of here." He goes, "Bullshit." He grabs the 8 and he goes, "This is our only chance to get on Sports Center. Knock it in the hole." I hit a great shot right at it. It's about 6 feet by. I mean, it had a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed the putt and got booed, but what an incredible memory. He goes, "Dude, it's our only chance to get on Sports Center. Get a club that'll get it all the way back there."
Yeah.
That's a good caddy.
Right.
What a great caddy! I was gonna say,
Miscut. I miscut.
Yeah.
He wasn't that great of a caddy.
He wasn't that great.
But yeah, so we sat there. I've told that story 1,000 times, but I thought, to give somebody, and there's going to be somebody that qualifies that throws their $10 in and goes, "Yeah, whatever," and he's going, "Oh wow," and he's going to come down there and he's going to go onto the driver range, have to hit it over water, back to the bleachers where the people are, and he's going to get that same feeling of, wow, not only are all these people watching me, but I got a shot at $1 million.
$1,000,000.
Yeah.
So the pressure now.
Yeah, so it becomes a whole different process.
The mind game.
And my caddy walked me right out of that, Gets the hole, let's focus on, So
That's wild.
Yeah.
So that to me is what's so exciting is that, and that's why we
Go
want.
burger.
Yeah, take a bite of that
man,
burger.
that's
It's
really
just
good.
chilled out a little bit, but if you get on that flavor, you think you're gonna love it. But I think that's what really excited all of us about this event, and being able to recreate that as kind of the centerpiece with all of the other peripheral activities and activations that people can do.
Yeah.
The fact that everybody's going to come down right around that 5:30 time and lean, get into on the bleachers and around the green, and just think about all of the screaming every time.
Yeah.
That's what I really love about it.
Yeah.
Every time somebody takes that shot, and everybody's watching the ball in the air, is it going to go be short and go in the water, and everybody goes, "Oh!"
Absolutely. We're going to be encouraging people to boo, and
You know.
You can have signs that you hold up.
Good idea. So so it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope that everybody that's listening and taking the time to check this out, really kind of gets that, what this is and why we're so excited about it.
Yeah.
We're, from Huss's perspective, we always want to kind of we're so thankful, first and foremost. Like I said, we're celebrating 10 years this year, and there's no way we can even come close to being here. Greg, you could allude to this. You've been 23 years. You couldn't do this without the residents and the members and the people and the friends that have supported you throughout the years. Yeah, it's the same thing with Huss. We're not anywhere. We've grown into, the second, third largest brewery in the state, because we've got a lot of people out there that love us and love our beers, and they also love the fact that we get involved.
Sure.
And we do events like this.
Yeah.
We don't just make beer and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all you're going to see about Huss. We want to help and be part of creating events and activities and things that you can be a part of. It's they call it, like, in the fancy people call it like brand awareness and things like that. And being brand adjacent to your people. Those are just fancy terms for just saying, I like doing business with people that I like.
Yeah.
People
like
us
that.
but they like us because of the fact that we do things with people we like.
Sure.
And we like doing things with Greg. We like doing things with Kristan. We like just having cool events. And then it's like, you guys were all of our friends. And saying, hey, listen, we're throwing this cool little party. Come and check it out. Bring the family. Have a good time.
You think about how lucky we are to be in the industries that we're in, where we're in something that everybody wants to be part of because it's fun.
It is fun.
Like, golf is fun, brewing is fun, drinking beers is fun. Atmosphere is fun. And I think about that every day I walk through the door at Lone Tree, except for today because we got rained out today, so that pissed me off. But
other than that, though.
But yeah, and you think about what you do, and I know that that's always been my deal for our employees and everything. It's fun. I want you to come to work to enjoy it, and it's amazing. No, it's not amazing. It's automatic how you start to gravitate to other people that do the same thing. And I think about those relationships. Yeah, and then you, like you said, the community all the high schools, all the kids, everything. We get them, let's get them from start to finish playing at Lone Tree. That's what we want.
It's going to be awesome, man. We can't wait for everybody to come out there. We can't thank, Kristan enough for everything that you've done putting it together.
All the heavy lifting.
All the heavy lifting.
She's probably so sick of me going, I am not that smart. I can't, I don't even know what a QR code is. Like, I learned stuff.
Well, Kristan, then great job bringing all of the pieces together, right?
It's been a lot of fun. That's what I do. What I do is supporting local, making an idea a reality, and making it unforgettable experiences for people who attend these events. Just like the $1 million shootout that we're hosting. My most excitement is being out there that day, seeing a family and. The dad and the mom, sipping on a beer, watching somebody make this $1 million hole-in-one shot, everybody freaking out, and another person on the sideline, like all excited because they found a new PXG club that's going to help their long game.
Yeah.
It's just, there's so much going on and smiles on people's faces that it's going to be memorable for lifelong, and to know that I was the one who helped create it with all these people at the table is absolutely fulfilling.
Heck yeah. I love it. So, just real quick, if two people make a hole-in-one, do they each get $1 million? They got to split it.
They're out. Once one guy knocks it in,
first one to get it in, it's
we line it up.
Yeah.
And not your rules. His rules are we'll keep going until somebody makes it.
I'll self-insure.
Which is why I'm not in charge of stuff like this, right?
I've got an idea. But
wouldn't that be? First guy goes up there, knocks it, and everybody's like, it's over.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's over.
Didn't read the
that
fine
was
print.
buying.
He's buying, yeah, right. I was going to make it anyways, yeah.
But I will say this to are we wrapping up pretty soon?
Yeah.
I will say this to the folks, again, that are listening. We are, this is going to be airing pretty soon. The event, again, is on Saturday, February the 11th, the day before the big game in Glendale. And, just pay attention to your socials, pay attention to this website, listen to the radio, visit hussbrewing.com, but most importantly, go to Lone Tree Golf 18, LoneTreeGolf18.com, and get your tickets. Tell your friends, tell your folks. Tickets are on sale right now as we speak.
Nice.
And our goal is to get as many tickets sold. We're going to kind of cap this thing out right around 1,000 people.
Okay.
So if we can get to that point, we'll sell it out. So we don't want folks to wait. So go ahead and visit the site. Grab your tickets, and there is a refundable in case something does change, right? Up to like 24 hours before, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
Well, if there wasn't, there is now. my big ass
like, what
mouth.
the hell?
She's like, what are
Chip's
you
bank
doing?
account.
I usually don't like to talk about those.
I know.
It depends on
45
the
minutes
reason.
of positivity. And
Then I just screwed it all up.
Never heard of that refund word.
Money back guarantees. Okay, shut your
We're
mouth.
at the
All right,
bottom
wait a
of all the
second.
tickets.
Can you not hear me anymore? They just turned my mic off.
I stopped recording about 20 minutes
Okay,
ago,
that's
so
good.
yeah.
No, all kidding aside, no, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows, grab your tickets now, and it's going to be a good time. I think we're pumped up.
I think that you go from the refund. It's so inexpensive. What's the big deal?
What's the big deal?
Go grab them, give it to
$15.
some friends, and
That's a great
And it's
point.
supporting a nonprofit.
And it is supporting.
You
Yeah.
make it, and let me tell you what. That's the other guarantee. Let's say it gets rained out. All those tickets sold. We'll just give all the money.
All the money to the thing.
first tee.
Yeah.
I like it.
So,
I like it. Glad we ironed all that out, right? Thanks, Chip, for
changing lives
I had
right
to
now.
think
See,
really
I
quick.
told you it was all part of the game plan.
text my lawyer here real quick.
I know.
All right, what do should I just delete this now? Yeah.
I was doing so
Free
well.
beer for everybody.
Yeah.
That's going to be the tagline in the
Oh,
episode
we
for the
don't say
social
that
media.
here.
Yeah. No, guys, thanks for doing this. Thanks for inviting me to be, to tell this story. I'm really excited. I'm going to try to make it down myself. I'm not going to qualify, but
never know.
Maybe I'll try. Maybe this.
never know.
Let me
But
pound
you know
this
who might
six-pack.
qualify? Your dad might. Your father-in-law might qualify.
Yeah,
If
that's
he
true.
plays, and that's the kind of thing. Is it's not just those people. If he plays 2-3 times a week, absolutely.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of people that want. But also, people like me that play once every couple of months.
Yeah.
Par 3, you can get there. You can do it.
Yeah.
You got to take your shot.
I would
Got
like
me
to
motivated
see-
now, Chip.
I'd like Chip to qualify, and then for him to be on that back and then skull it and make the entire
bleachers
scatter. And then you would have to buy a lot of beers.
The ball lands on the
Then it would
window
go
tent.
Far! car. Chip, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
And we all knew it was going to happen.
The insurance already said I'm not allowed anywhere near people.
You're not even allowed to the vet, Chip,
I'm
honestly.
not
Yeah.
allowed. What are you going to do?
No,
But
guys.
thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
We really
Thank you.
appreciate
That
it.
was awesome.
Absolutely. Thanks for the food.
Thanks for letting us talk about Huss.
Yeah.
We're proud of it. Visit our spot down here. I'm going to do another shameless plug if you don't
Please
mind.
do. Please do.
We're actually, just in case you guys don't know, Papago Brewing Company, we've got to talk about Orange Blossom. That beer was made famous because originally it was made for the original Papago Brewing Company in Scottsdale, which is considered by many, the birthplace of craft beer here in Arizona. Leah Huss was one of the owners. Kristan actually was the last general manager there, and managing partner, actually, I should say, that ran the place. And we're really excited to announce that we're actually reopening Papago Brewing Company. We're doing that here in a couple of weeks.
Nice.
We actually acquired the old brass tap in Mesa Riverview.
Oh, yeah.
Right by Sloan Park.
Okay.
On the 202 in Dobson.
Nice.
And we're going to be reopening right in the beginning of February. So it's actually even going to be before this. So
Heck
those
yeah.
of you guys listening, come check us out during Arizona Beer Week or anything along those lines. And come check out the new Papago as well as any of our Huss Brewing tap rooms, downtown Phoenix, uptown Phoenix at Campbell and Central, our original down in Tempe. And then obviously come drink some Huss over at Lone Tree.
Some walleye, too, here. Right?
And
Get
eat the walleye
and
at
the
downtown.
smash burger. Yeah.
Exciting news too. I know I talked to Leah about this a little bit, and you guys are bringing some of the original OG Papago beers back.
Yeah, we're going to have
And-
Zoopers is going to come back. We're
Yeah.
actually by Van Steenberg is brewing us for us in Belgium. It's actually on a ship right now. The kegs are coming over in the middle of the Atlantic, so it should be here hopefully for opening, if not a week or so after that.
What is that again? Say that
It's
again.
a Belgian quad, basically.
Okay.
Belgian strong ale.
Yeah.
That is, and Van Steenberg is one of the most famous breweries in the world.
Okay.
And based out of Belgium. And originally, they actually brewed the beer for Papago Brewing Company, and they agreed to start doing it again for us for this new iteration of Papago.
Wow,
So it's going to be
nice.
the only place in Arizona, actually in the whole country,
Yes.
that you can get this beer, and we're pretty excited about that.
One of my
Love it.
favorite beers I've ever had.
Ever?
Ever.
After all this-
I never was allowed to say that with the guild, but
Oh, that's right. 'Cause now you can say
but
it.
now I can say it. It's Zoopers, 11% Belgian quad, amazing beer.
Ooh.
It's very easy to drink, but you
Surprisingly
got to
so.
watch out because you got to
Yeah.
creep
It'll
up
get
on you. It'll get you.
Yeah,
but,
watch out for this guy that drinks friggin'
He's
lighter
from
than light.
Minnesota.
He's from
Well, he's from
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Hey,
They got.
they can drink a lot of beer,
can drink a lot.
but you get them into these strong beers.
That's true.
Watch
That's
out.
true.
Because they keep drinking them like they're drinking Coors Light.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's beer is beer, and so I got to watch out.
Yeah. It flows for me. It's the same. It flows no matter what, whether that's a 4% beer or whether that's a 12%
Yeah,
beer.
and you can get himself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when you start. What did he say earlier? Not drunk. He feels.
Oh yeah.
What?
Lack
less
of focus.
Lack of focus.
My eyes cannot focus. Yeah.
So, thanks for having us, brother.
Yeah, guys. Thank you so much. And February 11th, be there.
Be there.
Sir.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.